Good afternoon, dear students. Previous class, we already started to discuss about traders, big and smalls. Traders, big and smalls. Especially, so we learnt about the traders guilds. So, which especially the famous Manigramam and Nana Desi. See, the Manigramam and Nana Desi, these guilds traded even extensively and within the peninsula and with Southeast Asia and China also. And also, dear students, there were the communities like Chettiars and Marwari Oswal. See, these were the communities of traders, especially in our subcontinent. Chettiars and Marwari Oswal. Chettiar and Marwari Oswal. So these were the trading groups understood. And also dear students, Gujarati traders and including some of the communities of Hindu Baniyas and also Muslim Bohras. See, they are all actually traded extensively with the ports of the Red Sea. They were actually traded extensively with the ports of the Red Sea and also Persian Gulf, East Africa, Southeast Asia and China. So they were traded with this. So one all, especially the communities such as Chettiars and Marwari Oswals and Gujarati traders and even Hindu Baniyas and Muslim Baras. So these were all actually the trade communities. See, they were sold textiles and spices in these ports. They were used at these ports and then they were actually sold, especially textiles and spices. And in exchange, bought gold and ivory from Africa and spices, tin and Chinese blue pottery and silver from Southeast Asia and China. So actually they were sold, especially the textiles and spices in exchange. They brought gold and ivory from Africa and spices, tin, Chinese blue pottery and silver from Southeast Asia and China. See, the towns on the west coast were home to Arab, Persian, Chinese, Jews, and Syrian Christian traders. Getting these students, the towns on the west coast were home to all these different country people. So, especially for the different trade groups such as Arab, Persian, Chinese, Jews, and Syrian Christian traders. See, Indian spices and cloth sold in the Red Sea port. Understood now? So, Indian spices and textiles. So, sold in the Red Sea ports were purchased by Italian traders and eventually reached European markets. So, these, the cloth and Indian spices were purchased by the Italian traders and eventually reached European markets. Fetching very high profiles and the what we call the maximum profit, high profit. So spices grown in tropical climates especially pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, dried ginger, etc. See, these are all very suitable, the spicy items to grow in the tropical climates and became an important part of European cooking. And also cotton cloth was very attractive. See, there were a lot of demand for Indian spice items and for cotton cloth. There were a large market in European countries. See, this eventually drew European traders to India. So because of that, there were so many European traders they were visited to India. Understood? And they were start to trade with our country. So specialty students, Arab, Persian, Chinese, Jews and Syrian Christian traders. Syrian Christian traders. So because of the Indian cotton textile and then spice items. Indian spices. Okay. Now let us discuss about crafts in tongues. See, crafts in tongues. Since from the early periods, so India, I mean the subcontinent, it's so famous for its crafts and even so there were expert craft persons also. For example, the craft persons of Bidar. So they were so famed for their inlay work in especially copper and silver that it came to be called Bidri. Understood? So the Bidri, the work that is came to known as Bidri. So what is this now? The Bidar was so famed for their inlay work in copper and silver so that it came to be called Bidri. Understood? See, and afterwards the Panchalas. Panchalas. See, these are all actually students regional names. So the same community people or the same craft persons, so they used to called in a different name in a different part of the subcontinent. For example, so the Panchalas, they were also called Vishwakarma community. So which community we used to call as a Panchalas? No, Vishwakarma community. So usually in some of the area, I mean in subcontinent. So the Vishwakarma community. So they used to call as a Vishwakarma community only. And the same community, especially in the Maharashtra region, they used to call as a Panchalas. Understood? And even in a different area, so those community people, they used to call in a different thing. Especially who are these Panchalas or what we call the Vishwakarma. So actually goldsmith. The goldsmiths they were called in a different name such as goldsmith, Panchalas and Vishwakarma. Understood now? And even Europe knows that the same goldsmith community used to call as a Pattar also. Pattar. Pattar or Pattar ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸಹ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So and also dear students, so actually these Panchalas are Vishwakarmas. So not only the goldsmith community and even it's including bronze smiths and blacksmiths. Understood? Bronzesmiths, blacksmiths, and even masons and carpenter also. ಸೊ ಯೂಸ್ವಲಿ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆಚಾರಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಮರಗೆಲಸದವರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಬ್ಬಿಣ ಕೆಲಸದವರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ತಾಮ್ರದ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೆಸರಿಂದ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಕಾರ್ಪೆಂಟರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವಿಶ್ವಕರ್ಮ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಂಚಾಲ ಅಥವಾ ಪತ್ತಾರಿ, ಹೀಗೆ ನಾನಾ ವಿಧದ ಹೆಸರುಗಳಿಂದ ಕರೀತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ನೋಸ್ ದಿಸ್ just so this Vishwakarma community or Panchalas, so they were essential to the building of temples. Of course, you want to construct any kind of building, houses, and so on. So especially their contribution to temples, it's a lot. ಯಾಕೆಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಸೊ ಅವರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿಶ್ವಕರ್ಮ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯೂಡ್? ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಅಥವಾ ವಿಗ್ರಹಗಳನ್ನು ಕೆತ್ತನೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಆಭರಣಗಳ ತಯಾರಿಕೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಶಿಲ್ಪಕಲಾ ರಚನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡುಗೆ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಅತ್ಯಮೂಲ್ಯವಾದ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ಲೇಡ್ an important role in the construction of palaces, big buildings, tanks and reservoirs. So not only the temples, already I told that even to construct a small house also, or to construct buildings, a palace, or tanks, or reservoirs, so their contribution is a lot. So similarly, weavers. ಸೊ ವಿವರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ನೇಕಾರರು, ಯಾರು ಬಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನ ನೇಯ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ನೇಕಾರ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಆ ನೇಕಾರ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ವಿವರ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ದ ವಿವರ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ಅ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಸಬ್ ಕಾಂಟಿನೆಂಟ್ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ನೇಮ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಾಲಿಯಾ. So these are actually the weavers community. Saliers ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ weavers community. And also they used to call as Kaikollas. ಸಾಲಿಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕೈಕೊಲ್ಲಾರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿವರ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿನ ಹೀಗೆ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಸಾಲಿಯಾರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕೈಕೊಲಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸಾಲಿಯಾರ್ ಆರ್ ಕೈಕೊಲಾಸ್ ದೇ ವರ್ ಎಮರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ಪರಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟೀಸ್, especially making a domination to temples. Some aspects of cloth making like cotton cleaning, spinning and dyeing, so that's became specialized and independent crafts. Getting these students? So some of the aspects of cloth making, like cotton cleaning, spinning and dyeing, so these are all became specialized and independent crafts. Getting these students? So these are all important, the crafts, especially the bronzesmith, goldsmith, blacksmith and weavers communities. I hope you all of you understood about this, about the crafts in terms. Understood? Now let us discuss about the architectural splendor of Hampi. The architectural splendor of Hampi. So dear students, in this chapter, little bit we are focusing on Hampi and Machilipatnam and Surat. Now let us discuss about the architectural splendor of Hampi. See, I think all of you knows that about Hampi very well. So Hampi is located, anybody can you guess in which rivers basin? Because that is very close to, nearest to you. So Hampi is actually located in Krishna and Tungabhadra basin. Hampi located in Krishna and Tungabhadra Basin. Understood? So it is in Karnataka only. So all of you knows that it is actually one of the greatest dynasty which was ruled in this region. That's about the Vijayanagara Empire, which was founded in 1336. So it's actually Hampi was ruled by Vijayanagara. Vijayanagara also the same. Okay. 1336. Getting these students. So Hampi, it's one of the actually architectural splendor of the world, which is located in Krishna Tungabhadra basin, which formed the nucleus of the Vijayanagara's empire, which was founded in 1336. See, the magnificent ruins at Hampi reveal a well fortified city. Almost, dear students, during the time, the most of the cities or towns or kingdom so completely fortified. ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಸಹ ಕೋಟೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟದ ಇದ್ದದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. So no mortar or cementing agent was used in the construction of these walls. Of the technique followed was to actually the wedge them together by interlocking. So our technology there, it's a wonderful. See, actually, the cementing agent was used in the construction of these walls, and the technique followed was to wedge them together by interlocking. So, especially the most of the ancient constructions made of big stones. ಆ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಒಂದು ಗಾರೆಯನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಟರ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದಿಟ್ಟು ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂತಹ ರಚನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. See, the architecture of Hampi was distinctive. That was distinctive, very wonderful, very beautiful one. See, the buildings in the royal complex had splendid arcs, and even the domes also, and even pillared halls with niches for the folding sculptures. ನೀವು ಹಂಪಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಗಳೇನಿದೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳೇನಿದೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ದೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ವೆಲ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಕೌಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲೆಜರ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಸ್ಕಲ್ಪ್ಚರಲ್ motifs such as the lotus and cornels. ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂಥದ್ದು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ರಚನೆಗಳೇನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ they also had well planned arcades and even the pleasure gardens, beautiful gardens with sculptural motifs such as the lotus and corbels. See, in its heyday in the 15th, 16th centuries, Hampi bustled with commercial and cultural activities. Hampi, it was actually so during the 15th and 16th century, it became one of the famous center for cultural activities and as well as commercial activities also. ಹಂಪಿಯ ಬೀದಿ ಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ವಿಜಯನಗರದ ಬೀದಿ ಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿನ್ನ, ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ, ವಜ್ರ, ವೈಡೂರ್ಯ, ಮುತ್ತು, ಹವಳಗಳನ್ನ ಅದನ್ನ ಸುರಿದು ಗುಡ್ಡೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ರಾಶಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ the richest one, the beautiful one, and it is one of the famous commercial and cultural center. See, here Moors actually a name used collectively for Muslims merchants. ಈ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಮರ್ಚೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಮೂರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಮೂರ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ using this word collectively understood now. So for Muslim merchants and also chettis and agents of European traders such as the Portuguese crossed the markets of Hampi. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಚೆಟ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಚೆಟ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಸಹ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಚೆಟ್ಟೀಸ್ ಈಗಲೂ ಸಹ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾರತದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೆಸರಿಂದ. ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ವೆರೈಟಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇಯರ್ ಇನ್ ಹಂಪಿ ಮೂರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಚೆಟ್ಟೀಸ್ and including Moors and Chettis, the agents of European traders, especially such as Portuguese, the thrones the markets of Hampi. Hampiಯ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ತುಂಬ ಇವರೇ ತುಂಬಿರ್ತಿದ್ರು ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್, ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರು, ಚೆಟ್ಟಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೂರ್ಸ್. See, temples were the hub of cultural activities and even so there we can see the Devadasis also. Devadasi ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So they were performed before the deity, royalty and masses in the mainly specially dear students. So please keep in your mind, temples were the hub of cultural activities. There were so many cultural, not only the puja and so on so things. So the temples were became the hub of cultural activities. And also dear students, the temple dancers, those were called as Devadasi. Devadasi ಅನ್ನೋ ಪದಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಿ. So they also performed before the deity, royalty and masses in the many pillared halls in the Virupaksha. Especially Virupaksha is actually a form of Shiva. ಶಿವನ ಒಂದು ಅವತಾರ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ರೂಪ. ವಿರೂಪಾಕ್ಷ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ವಿಶಾಲವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ಗಳಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಾಲ್. And also they are celebrated there the Mahanavami festival, especially the Mahanavami festival, which was actually, now we all of you knows that the Mahanavami festival, it is well known, and today we are celebrating in the name of, especially in the southern part of subcontinent, Navaratri. Understood? So ನವರಾತ್ರಿ ಉತ್ಸವವನ್ನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಆ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ಸವವನ್ನು ಸಹ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Getting dear students, so the Mahanavami festival, which was known as today as Navaratri. So that was one of the most important festivals celebrated at Hampi. So ಈ ಒಂದು ನವರಾತ್ರಿ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಹ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ಸವ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, which was celebrated in Hampi. Getting dear students, archaeologists have found the Mahanavami platform where the king received guests and accepted tribute from subordinate chiefs. So the archaeologists, they were found that Mahanavami platform. So during the time actually, the king, he was received guests and even accepted a tribute from subordinate and chiefs. ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಕಪ್ಪ ಕಾಣಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. See, from here he also watched in this platform only. The king also watched dance and music performances and as well as wrestling bouts also. You can sit and watch it from there itself only. It's one of the biggest hall. So the king also watched dance and music performances as well as wrestling bouts also. Wrestling ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕುಸ್ತಿ ಪಂದ್ಯಾವಳಿಯನ್ನು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಸಹ. So Hampi fell into ruin following the defeat of Vijayanagara in 1565 by the Deccanese Sultans. So afterwards, dear students, when It was defeated by, I mean, the Vijayanagara Empire. It was defeated by Deccanese Sultans in 1565, and afterwards Hampi fell into ruin. The rulers of, to whom we used to call as the Deccanese Sultans ಅಥವಾ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ದಕ್ಷಿಣದ ಸುಲ್ತಾನರು ಅಥವಾ ದಕ್ಕನ್ ಸುಲ್ತಾನರು ಅಂತಾನೂ ಸಹ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Deccanese Sultans. So Deccanese Sultans here, the rulers of Golconda, Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Berar and Bidar. So together we used to call all these. See, the most of all these rulers, they were all belongs to Islam or Muslim communities. So together they used to call as a Deccanese Sultans, and these Deccanese Sultans, so they were defeated Vijayanagara Empire in 1565. So who are Deccanese Sultans now? The rulers of Golconda, Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Berar and Bidar. Together is to called as a Deccanese Sultans. Afterwards, ಹಂಪಿಯ ಒಂದು ವೈಭವ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಅಳಿತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸಹ ನಾವು ಕಾಣಬಹುದು ಹಂಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿದಿಲ್ಲ. ದ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಮಾರ್ವಲಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ದ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಎಂಪೈರ್ಸ್. Now let us discuss about a gateway to the west, that is Surat. The gateway to the west. That is Surat. See, we all knows that Surat in Gujarat, it was the emporium of Western trade, especially during the Mughal period, along with Canberra, that is present Kannauj, and even somewhat later Ahmedabad, Surat. So this Ahmedabad, Surat was the gateway for trade with West Asia via the Gulf of Hormuz. Understood. And Surat has also been called the gate to Mecca because many pilgrim ships set sail from here. So that's what, dear students, the Surat, it was described as a gateway to the west. So about this, a gateway to the west, that is Surat. About this, so we are going to learn in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.